Oh, Lord. So Britt McHenry then got her little white self in trouble again. Remember her? She's the one who like cussed out the lady at the car tow place. Her car got towed, and she went there acting a fool, and the lady it cussed the lady behind the counter out. It was a white lady she cussed out, but she didn't know she was being recorded. Tape got leaked. She looked really bad. And y'all know Colin Kaepernick was named GQ Citizen of the Year. And now this Britt McHenry, she has every right to say this. Niggas don't understand. She has every right to say this. You can just ignore this. She said J.J. Watt raised $37 million for Hurricane Harvey victims, right? Well, okay. 37 million. That's a lot of money. And I did the video earlier about Wendell Brown. Black man been locked up in China for over a year. Okay? On trumped up charges. Didn't do a damn thing. $5,000 in his GoFundMe. Okay? J.J. Watt raised $37 million. While Negroes was down there looting. And you can't say that that's just a fake story. That's real news. Niggas was down there looting. Okay? Countless videos of niggas looting, stealing tennis shoes. Not stealing food, stealing tennis shoes and flat screen TVs. Countless of stories of niggas robbing people, breaking up in people's homes, stealing people's boats. This white dude was down there raising 37 million. She has every right to say this. Now, shout out to Kaepernick. Am I hating on Kaepernick? No, he got it. He deserves it. Hey, he got it. But she has every right to say this, and y'all have every right to ignore her. Y'all don't. But what niggas didn't do was ignore her. And look, she getting some love. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm a huge JJ fan. Love him. And I definitely believe he deserves GQ Citizen of the Year over Kaepernick. I mean, raising $37 million for Hurricane Harvey relief versus refusing to stand for our national anthem. Like Britt McHenry said, but Kaepernick refused to stand for our national anthem a year ago and is Citizen of the Year, right? Look. This white woman has every right to say that that's her national anthem. Look, she not Afrocentric. This woman wasn't raised learning that, the red, black, and green is the colors of, she didn't grow up reading, singing, lift every voice and sing to earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let us march on till victory is won. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has brought us. Sing a song full of the hope that the... I forgot the rest of it. But yeah, she ain't grow up singing that. She grew up singing the national anthem. Okay, Negro? And so did I. So I grew up singing both of them. Y'all niggas don't even know the song I was just singing, the Negro national anthem. They don't even know that. Niggas don't even know that and still running around making a fuss. Cap sacrifices his career, future earnings, which far exceeds $37 million. No, Cap didn't. He sacrificed nothing. Nobody wants him. Yeah. Like, I mean, I think that you're in a league where you can knock a woman out on camera. You can kill people. There's two people in the league that have killed people. Leonard Little ran over a guy. Dante Stallworth ran over a guy, drunk, and got signed the next year to another team. I mean, you can do anything and get a job in the NFL. They're not hiring Kaepernick because he's kneeled for the flag. What about the other players that kneel for the flag? Then? Okay, since Kaepernick's not getting a job because he kneeled for the flag, what about the other players that kneel for the flag? Them dudes been traded, cut, re-signed, all of them, man. We all make choices. Brits such as peaceful protesting to call attention to the importance of critical social change, or going off on and making fun of a parking lot attendant while being recorded. Choose wisely. I knew they was gonna go at her for that. Somebody said, "Film don't lie." You are right about that, my friend. Let's not forget Cap gives each month out of his own pocket to charities in need of financial support. This person said, doesn't give 35 million. Why gave 35 million? Person says 250,000 he gave. So Kaepernick's, I mean, look, I'm not against Kaepernick. I just don't, I think it's ridiculous that this just like the white lady who said something about traffic bay. One white woman said she didn't got on her Twitter account. White woman had like 12 followers. Went on her Twitter account and said she didn't like Traffic Bay's dress and the way she looked in it. And niggas made it into a big thing of racism and they don't, man, look, this woman got the right to say this. Black people, I'm telling you, if y'all let black folks control this country, it's gonna be censorship, man. Ain't nobody gonna be able to say nothing. And I'm gonna tell you like this, I'm a black man. I'm the same way. They call me a coon. They gonna be mad as hell I said something about this. Okay? They're gonna be mad as hell at my point of view about this. I'm gonna be called a coon, a sellout, and all that. If black folks ran this country, I wouldn't be able to speak either. So, I'm kind of concerned about this. This person says, Cap put his career on the line to stand up for racial equality and justice. Somehow, some way, you continue to miss the point. Get a grip. Why are you arguing with her, brother? Like, she said what she wanted to say. Like, okay. I haven't missed anything. He didn't do anything to help racial issues. That's true. He hasn't helped racial issues at all. He hasn't done anything. That hasn't helped nothing. It's made things worse. He stood up for a group of people that needed to be stood up for. I'll give him that. Drug dealers and convicts, and street cats. So yeah, I mean, everybody needs somebody to stand up for them. J.J. Watt, look, I don't even care, but it's just crazy. At Brick McHenry, so Fox News retweeted her tweet. If NFL commish had come out before this season even started and just said, new rules, we are not allowing kneeling just like soccer did, just like the NBA did, then perhaps it wouldn't have grown to this level. So she went on Fox. Yeah, ESPN is, you do know this, that this is a good move for her, though. I'm going to tell you the real reason why she might be doing this. ESPN's laying off 100 people this week. And she may be going ultra conservative to try to get a job at Fox so she can land on her feet. Because ESPN said and they're coming down heavy on Sports Center, and she's on Sports Center. They're coming down heavy on Sports Center. Charlamagne the God said, as long as they keep Jamel Hill, Michael Smith, and Curry champion, he's good. But they just asked 300 people last October because ESPN's ratings are falling because of stuff like this, because of the kneeling and all that stuff. ESPN's ratings are falling, so they gotta. The only way a company can really cut its budget is by cutting employees. They don't really have a product. They can't cut back on their product is TV. They gotta keep they in the NFL's pocket for the next until 2021 or something like that, paying some crazy amount, billions of dollars. And then you got one of your anchors, Jamel Hill, calling for a boycott of the NFL. So they look, it's rough. ESPN is really going to fire 100 people this week. So maybe she decided that, look, I know I'm on the chopping block. I know I'm getting axed. Let me go ahead and go ultra conservative, go on Fox and when they ask me, I can land on my feet like Tommy Lauren. That was smart. Touche. Look at her other tweet. Wrote about this last week in FDRLST. President Trump, who was called a bum and white supremacist by the sports world, is now asking China for help to bring back 3 UCLA basketball players. Trump, I would stay out of that. No act of kindness goes unpunished. Trump, they're gonna say you're only doing this for political reasons. If you don't get them out, they're gonna say you didn't try hard enough because they were black. If they were white kids, you would have got them back. Trump, stay out of this. Don't. If I was Trump's advisor, I would tell him stay out of anything dealing with y'all. There's no way this is gonna end up good for him. If he get him back, if 5 minutes from now they say Liangelo and them on a plane back home, oh, he just did that as a distraction because he trying to distract us from his son, and they not going. If I was Trump, I would stay out of that. I would stay all the way out of this. I would stay out of everything involving y'all. Everything. I wouldn't even come close to anything that y'all had anything to do with. And you know who I'm talking about. Then she says, for those who don't think I get the reason for protest, you're wrong. Eagles' Malcolm Jenkins met with lawmakers to help community. Dolphins' Kenny Stills met with Miami police. More examples of Citizens of the Year. Yeah. Look. I don't know why people are mad. This girl got her opinion. Y'all on Twitter. Black people think they own Twitter, and I understand why. Because they the most on Twitter. I've gone over this. To be 13% of the population, they at least 60% of the tweets. At least. This person says, we know you get the reason for the protest, but we also know you don't give a fuck about the reason for the protest. Nigga, what is the reason for the protest? I should ask him. He probably gonna say, inequality. All right, well, ask Liangelo Ball how bad it is in the United States. Yeah, look, shout out to Liangelo. Liangelo ain't complaining about the United States. Liangelo come back to the United States. Ask Wendell Brown. Wendell Brown love the United States. Wendell Brown will come back to the United States in a heartbeat. Go watch my last video I just did. Wendell Brown. This person says, aren't you the same woman who tried to use your privilege to degrade someone who was doing their job because you parked in a no parking zone? By the way, how is the ESPN gig working out for you? So she might not be at ESPN anymore. Hold on. Is she at Fox now? I may be tripping. Did she get canned? Proud conservative. Oh yeah, she not at Fox. She not at ESPN no more. If she said, yeah, never mind. Forget everything I just said. She ain't proud conservative. She ain't at ESPN no more. Hell nah. You can't say that and be part of ESPN. That whole diatribe I said about ESPN was true, but she not ESPN no more. She's at Fox now. Okay. So she got the hell up out of there. Yeah, she landed on her feet. They was yeah. Look at this. Yeah, these basketball players bash Trump, but they want him to get him. Damn. I ain't even gonna edit that part out of this. So she works for the Federalist. U.S. basketball players like to bash Trump, but the ones arrested in China need him. Damn, she go hard. Ooh. While President Trump tours China, 3 prominent University of California. I say let them eat cake. Let them Negroes stay over there. Let them niggas spend a year in prison in China. That's what I say. I already said that on my last video. Let them spend a year in China. Since Wendell Brown got to spend a year and he didn't do nothing. Wendell Brown got some Chinese dudes tried to fight him and he defended himself. These dudes stole from 4 stores. They went on a stealing spree. Okay? If they wouldn't have got caught, they'd be kleptomaniacs by Christmas. I guarantee you. If they had not gotten caught, you think they wouldn't have been stealing from every damn store they went to? The only reason they gonna stop stealing is because they got caught. And let them dudes spend a year in Chinese prison, breaking rocks. Because one thing about Chinese prison, oh nigga, you not gonna be sitting around playing cards and shit and sharpening up your toothbrush. No. You ain't be sitting there watching TV and shit and complaining about the channels on TV and shit. Why it ain't more channels on TV? Why it ain't 15 different kind of beef sticks at the commissary? Why they ain't got no more? Why they only got 7 different kind of flavors of oodles and noodles at the commissary? You know? Nah, nigga, you be breaking rocks. You gonna say your meal gonna be rice. Just rice. That's it. Just rice. No vegetable, no meat, just rice. Nah, you niggas. Nah, you ain't gonna be sitting there plotting on niggas who you gonna stab today and nah. Nigga, you gonna be so tired when you come back from that quarry. Nigga, you ain't gonna know what to do with yourself. You gonna fall out. So yeah, you niggas gonna be breaking rocks over there in China. Ain't gonna be sitting around playing dominoes and shit, nigga. Playing cards and shit and cutting up and joning on each other, playing the dozens and shit. Talking about you bored. You ain't gonna never be bored over there. Never be bored in Chinese jail. Trust me. Let's look in the Chinese prisons first. See what they gonna do. Typical day in the Chinese prison. Let's see a typical day in a Chinese prison. The United States is so horrible, such a horrible place. Oh. Oh, Lord. Because, the United States, the worst place ever. Worst place in the world. Black people in America got the worst hand of any group of people on the whole planet. You know that, right? The view from inside China's brutal prison system. Oh, come on, man. What's going on? Let me step out and get some Wi-Fi. Let me step out and get some Wi-Fi. All right, y'all. By now, many of us heard the Chinese Communist Party promises to close its system of forced labor camps. While I sincerely hope this comes to pass, the other forms of detention in China have not gone away. In particular, the regime's notorious prison system remains as brutal and lawless as ever. I was an inmate of Chinese jails for 7 years and have seen and experienced what conditions there are like. Okay? Abuses in the countries outside China have been reported because inspectors are allowed there, but never since the Communist Party came to power in 1949 has it allowed unfettered independent investigation of its vast detention system. When UN personnel visited in 2005, their movements were severely restricted. I was detained in Beijing Qichu Detention Center in 2005, where UN Special Rapporteur Manfred Nowak was allowed to visit. But in the end, the UN didn't manage to get any interviews with Western or Chinese prisoners. They were only allowed to observe the conditions on the cell via monitors. Nowak reported that all efforts to interview former detainees, family members, lawyers, and human rights activists suffered government interference. The conditions in Chinese prisons are horrible. Okay? You niggas complaining about America. I saw them. Cells were between 7 and 21 square meters, and between 6 and 16 inmates were crammed inside. We slept, ate, and defecated in these tiny rooms. The food was appalling, and not one day passed when we were not physically and psychologically tortured by the guards or hired inmates. Beating, starvation, and forced labor are all parts of life for those stuck in Chinese prisons. Even minor complaints can result in punishment or even death for yourself or an inmate. Some prisoners I knew tried to commit suicide because the conditions were so abusive. Only some succeeded. Those who didn't were punished severely. Guards who would sometimes extract confessions from prisoners for the crimes they were accused of. They would break fingers, apply electric shocks, or if they did not want the injuries to show, would simply expose prisoners to freezing weather or force them into stress positions for hours. Embassies in Western countries heard about all this from me, but they did nothing to speak about it, perhaps because they don't want to jeopardize their country's relations with China. The time I was in prison from 2003 to 2010 also saw China issue new laws and make a lot of promises about improving the human rights policies. Many in the West thought that helping to improve China's economy and giving China the Olympics in 2008 would somehow result in more respect for human rights or even democracy. It was a fantasy. But this fiction, along with corporate greed, has simply helped the Chinese regime cover up the truth about its abuses, while everyone goes about business as usual. So yeah, it's rough over there, man. When I was in the Beijing prison, organ theft was a known and sad fact for all inmates on death row. Okay, y'all black people, they stole Kanika organs. They stealing our organs. Y'all niggas be playing cards and stabbing each other and joining up in groups and plotting on each other and playing dominoes and shit and playing and watching TV and shit. You know? This group versus that group. Y'all niggas be having fun over there in jail for real. Getting religious, reading books, studying law, getting your degrees and shit. Getting your GED. Ain't none of that over there. They want your organs. I will never forget the time that an inmate recounted to me how he had just met a person from his hometown that was supposed to have already been executed and cremated. This person knew that because the family had received the ashes 2 years before. Damn. They're going to die anyway, so let the hospitals do what they want with the organs. This made it clear to all of us that many inmates were being kept alive simply so their organs could be matched with donors. Then the real execution, or rather tranquilization and organ extraction, which leads to death, would take place. A similar process has been used against prisoners of conscience, including some Uyghurs in the 1990s. So basically what they do is they use your, if you on death row, they're gonna steal your organs, but they're not gonna kill you till they find a donor. Once they find a donor, that's your ass. I mean, once they find a match, that's your ass. I don't feel sorry for them niggas. Fuck them niggas. Them niggas are complaining about the U.S. I love the U.S. They ain't even do nothing but complain about the U.S. I love it. I love this country. Greatest country in the world. Fuck them niggas. Let them niggas spend a year over there. I ain't saying they should do 10. Let them niggas spend 1 year over there. Peace.